Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Monday, and all of our guests today, including Noodles, Jamie McLennan, standing by, are sponsored by Passant Motors. It's May Days at Passant. They want to make sure you love your ride. Check them out at Passant Motors, BASANT Motors.com, and find a ride you'll love. She's a sweet ride. I said that the first time I read. That's from Seinfeld. George, when he was trying to be cool, borrowed his dad's car, I think.
That's not when John Voight's car.
No.
Oh.
No. It was...
That's a whole other... That was a crazy scene.
He had the cuffs rolled up in his jeans. He was trying to be...
Oh, he was a bad boy, right?
Yeah, bad boy. He was
yeah.
Trying to be 1950s cool.
Yeah, like a greaser kind of. Yeah.
Is Jamie left?
He's gone. He exited the Zoom. Yeah.
Noodles joins us from TSN. Jamie McLennan, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I could listen to Seinfeld references all day. It's still one of my favorite. I mean, I feel like every episode was a legendary episode. Oh. So when you were bringing up that one, I laugh. I mean, Fragile Frankie goes and digs himself a hole in the wood. God. George was the hand model. I mean, there's just so many amazing. So,
and you say that, and you think of all these great storylines, and you don't realize that one of the great storylines was alongside one of the great storylines in the same episode. It's just tremendous. This is a great TV show too. Whenever you're on it, yes. Jamie, I got to ask you, what do you think Sunday's double overtime did not just for the Jets, but what did it do? You're an old goaltender. For Connor Hellebuyck.
Well, I felt like it was a bit of a redemption. Don't you think? Like, I felt bad. Like my actual heart hurt watching, in those games where he got pulled because he wasn't even in the game. Games 3 and 4 and 6. Listen, Winnipeg wasn't great in front of him, but it doesn't matter. This guy, I'm one of the voters. I voted for him number one Hart. Like he was been that good, so. Having him rebound, and he didn't have a great start as well. Keep that in mind. Like I didn't love the first goal against, he got a little bit aggressive, and then the second goal against, the Joseph goal, you need to make that save. So I thought from about halfway through the game, the third period for sure, and then both overtime periods, that looked like Connor Hellebuyck. So got another opportunity. It's going to be very tough against Dallas. I would personally have Dallas as the favorite in it, but Winnipeg is a resilient team. You hope that they get Scheifele back. I don't know what injury that was to Morrissey that looked like a shoulder or elbow or something, but hopefully he comes back somewhere along the line. But both nights, game sevens, like you couldn't take your eyes off the TV. It was so good for hockey.
Why is it, Jamie, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel this way. There seems to be more playoff comebacks now than there was, say, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know if it's the rule changes, whatever the case may be, but why do we see them more often than we used to? Because in the old days, somebody gets a 1-goal lead in the second period and the game was over. They just shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, New Jersey was the statement for that. You get up 1-0, it's done. They would just trap you. I think it's two things. I think it's the talent, but I also think, Donnie, it's the rule changes because guys like to now talent is at an all-time high as far as some of the top end talent in the league. But the way that they approach, and I remember talking to an NHL goaltender this year and saying, no shot is routine. Actually, you know what? I can even say his name. It was Linus Ullmark. I had a chat with him about a month ago. We were talking, a 28 shot against game is not, when I played, you felt like maybe you get 10 chances, you get 18 routine shots that are from the outside. You can feel the puck and control your rebound. It was just a different game. Nowadays, teams aren't wasting shots. It's rare that they come down the wall and they just have a straight, clear-sighted shot at the goaltender because the goalies are too good. The shooters are too good now. So they'll circle back. They'll go to make a play. They want to open you up. I watched Nikolai Ehlers' media last night, and he was saying, like, what did I try and do on that game-tying goal? Well, I tried to get it to Kyle Connor because I know that would get the goaltender moving. And then Connor gets him moving back. as he slides it through the middle for Perfetti. That's what guys think nowadays. So, getting back to it, I think you're looking at like no lead is safe because you can't just clutch and hold and play the trap and wedge everybody to the outside and they'll just throw the puck at the net. Nowadays, the thought process is guys get into that home plate area, drive the middle of the ice. It's never been less dangerous to get to middle ice than it is in today's game. And you've got skilled guys who can pick corners. That's the reason why they can come back in games.
Hey, Jamie, word this morning that Skinner could be game 1 against Vegas. Pickard just won 4 in a row. Are you surprised?
I would be surprised, and I agree. Like, I think when you've got a guy who's been the starter all year, he kind of just practices in one net. I would be shocked if Pickard didn't start, because you look at it, Stuart Skinner didn't have a great season. So that's one. Yes, he's your number one goaltender, and he played in 82 games, including playoffs last year. But if you look at it, he had inconsistency. And Calvin Pickard, during the regular season, I believe he won 22 games for the Oilers. That's not traditional backup. That's more like 1A type of minutes. So especially down the stretch with Skinner's injury, and then the start that Skinner had into the playoffs, they went to Pickard. And I'll be honest, if you watch those games and you watched intently, Draisaitl scores in overtime, McDavid jumps, and then he immediately beelines down to Pickard. And you can see that they've either found something there with him or he has the trust of the guys right now. Now, that could change. It could easily change if he has an off game here or there. So I would say even if Pickard is starting, it's probably a shorter leash than it would be. But, he had won 4 in a row. And it wasn't a Picasso. Let's be honest. He's as our buddy Ray Ferraro would say, he's a little bit of an unmade bed in the net. But he's aggressive. Analytically, I talked to my buddy at Sportlogic. Seam plays, so backdoor plays, he made 9 for 9 saves because he moves well laterally. Whereas Stuart Skinner got beat 5 times on 8 lateral moving shots. So it might be something that stylistically he fits in right now a little bit better. So I'd be, coming back to it, I'd be shocked if Pickard didn't start. And if it was, maybe it's just more of a scenario where they give Skinner an opportunity to get his game back in order early in a series.
Boy, it's a great time to be looking for a head coaching job in the NHL. 8 vacancies, including Vancouver. Were you surprised Rick Tocchet said no and walked?
I don't know, without knowing the behind the scenes, like what type of money was being offered, term, all of that type of stuff. Yes. And I didn't like it. It was kind of damning. I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's just when a coach says no to your organization,
bingo.
That's tough. Like that leads me to believe this guy has been there for 2 years. He's seen behind the curtain. He obviously dealt with it. Coach of the year a year ago, dealt with it for 2 years. And the fact that he says, check, please. I mean, that kind of is a little bit concerning as to what is going on behind the scenes, unless it was a strict like money call, like, hey, they cheaped out or whatever we would call it. They didn't want to pay what he was worth or market price. But I would have a tough time believing that. I think it's more, he's looking to move on to a different situation, which, leads me to believe that Vancouver's got a lot to clean up behind the scenes.
When you played for the Panthers, did you live at Del Boca Vista?
I wish I did.
You're president, were you?
I swear to God, when I signed there, it was a 3-year deal. It was 2 plus an option. The first thing I did is I grew my hair all one length long, and I was like, I'm going to be in Florida. Second thing I did is I bought a 1975 Cadillac Eldorado 2-door. It had a rumble seat in the trunk.
Wow.
And I had it painted, and it was called the SS Noodles. It was a boat. It was 22 feet long. We'd go to the bar in that thing. We'd have 9 people in the bar. I'd be cruising down Fort Lauderdale Beach. So I didn't live at Del Boca Vista. I lived in Fort Lauderdale, but I pretty much was in retirement mode when I played there. Put it that way. Playing, I think Roberto Luongo started and played in 76 games that year when I was there. So I was in retirement mode.
And I remember Jack Klumpus had a problem with that Cadillac of yours, Jamie. Thanks for this.
I should have run for the head of the board.
There you go.
Seinfeld ran for the head of the board.
There you go. That's what are we on the Seinfeld reference-o-meter? Like 20 now, 21?
It's the best, though.
Yeah,
honestly, still is the best. So,
Okay.
all right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Noodles. Appreciate it.